So the next thing is to have the fun of fighting a giant octopus, which would be coming in until 12. Yes, so that's okay.
Calamares.
Or that was the other way around.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the other way around.
Yeah.
All right, so at present, the tentacles are all you can see. So the question is, and these are long ships, so therefore the first problem is going to be getting anywhere near it to fight it. The people right where it is are at a very severe disadvantage because the tentacles have squirmed through where the rowers are seated, and it is not very practical to fight. They can strike at it with their knives or axes or something like that, but it is not really, you're just as likely to hit the guy next to you, and it's looking kind of bad, actually. So the only really sensible thing to do is to strike from on top.
Yeah. So you have to get up on deck.
Right, and so that, I believe, would be your first action, is to
Yep.
try to swing up. And then, and also the people down below are too enthusiastic. Some people where you are trying to go forward to get to where it is. So that's not very practical.
Yeah.
Some of them, and you can do this if you want to, have screamed of, it's at last, something to fight, right? It's kind of some of the people whose inclination is that it's scarier not to sit and wait than it is to fight. People with that attitude, they are just jumping into the water to fight.
I'm gonna put
which-
a hold on that
yeah.
option right now.
Exactly. It may not strike you as the most practical idea.
Just keep it open just in case, but not right now.
Excellent. All right. So to swing yourself up is a bit of an action, a moving action. It's at least 3 or 4 strike ranks, I think, to get yourself up there and then to move to position. So you are not going to be able to strike, I think, until about strike rank 12.
Yeah.
Whereas you are more mobile and are up there, and you can get an idea of what you can do. Most of the tentacles are grabbing the lower deck. Some have come up, and one in particular has come up and grabbed across the top. Now, this is a bit of a problem. This is a 2-deck ship, and it is very long. And the oars are not in the water. So the stability of the ship is usually determined by everybody having their oar in the water. So if something grabs the top deck and gives it a good pull, you can...
Yeah, my thought exactly.
Yes.
So I guess I should go and give it a shot. Maybe?
You could. I also want to call attention to something that I think you might be missing on your sheet. You do know 2 spells.
Mobility and binding.
Yes. Mobility makes your movement very quick and agile. Binding slows down something else's movement.
Ew.
So is it better to slow it down or make me faster?
In terms of it tipping over the ship?
Or
Slow it down.
I'll try to slow it down then.
Okay. So that particular spell, what
Yep.
does it say about the spell?
Passive focused temporal.
Okay. So the meaning of this is that you are going to have to prepare the spell by drawing the rune in the air. And so that's 5 strike ranks.
Okay.
And then it only is 1 power, is that correct?
Yes.
So that is no strike ranks. So you will come in at strike rank 5,
Okay.
which is good because its grab and pull is not going to come in for until I was going to say 6 and 12 are its times to move. So you are coming in first.
The power that we lost for the fish
Does not come back.
96.
There is a reason for this,
Okay.
just to make you suffer a little bit. Okay, so 96, you say.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that is a bit of a problem. You're going to lose the point of power.
Okay.
So there were 10 left, so that's down to 9. Ouch.
Yes. So, and that's when it gets its grip, the musculature of it, and you can see its last little tip. The tentacle squirms up and keeps flowing and reaching, and then the tip goes as far as it's going to go and grabs that last little bit. So you can tell it's got a good grip. So its pull is going to come on strike rank 4. I might as well give it a roll to see about its gripping. 37. Okay. Just to make sure that it did that and I'm not just giving the monster, a success. So, next then is, let's see, what strike rank was that for you?
5, I think.
5, I think.
Right.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have another chance.
You do have another chance before it pulls, and also you don't have to prepare your spell anymore.
Okay.
It's already prepared, so
then
you can just hit with it. So, shoot again.
36.
Much better.
Yes.
Okay. So this is, your power overcomes its power, and you are able to, and you suddenly realize that you have immobilized that tentacle.
Good work, Erko.
Mm-hmm. So, excellent. So now on 12 is,
Yep.
by that point during this entire process, you have been, oh yes, we might as well give you a roll to make sure you don't fall into the water. So let's just do a dexterity times 5.
09.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so you are able to,
Elegant.
and yeah, I was going to say extremely competently.
Can I check it?
No, no. Oh wait,
09.
wait. For dexterity, yeah, you can. Yeah, check your dexterity. Yeah, not bad. And so you, in a second stunning display of cool athletic special, the stuntmen have been hired, I think, for this particularly. Our budget went up, right? So we have real stuntmen now, and you guys look great. So, so up you go, swinging up there, and I suppose you have your own spear.
Yep.
And so, and right about this time is when you arrive next to Urko, who's looking a little happier than he might ordinarily look.
Is that a smile I see? What's wrong?
Yeah.
Glad to be alive.
And you can take a shot at this.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, why not? Yeah, the closest piece, tentacle, whatever.
You can stab into the immobilized tentacle,
Yeah. And I do
which
this.
means it gets no defensive.
80, and I have 60, so no.
Oh, okay. So it's very slippery, right? So you are stabbing at it. Okay. So now we are going to move into the next bit. Urko, what is your idea at this point?
Just to, I don't know, get it off.
Kill it.
Yeah, well, get it off at first.
Mhm.
So is it still on the top?
Yes,
top?
it has grabbed, but you have slowed it so it cannot
Yeah.
move as fast.
Okay, so
Which means that you have delayed its pull
yeah.
all the way until the next.
So I'll.
So we kind of needed to let go from the grab, either like
That's-
severing the.
Yeah, I was thinking about chopping it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that. I won't throw it. I'll.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then I have another idea, just in case you want to consider it, which is that if you use your weapons more like tools, because it's not really like fighting a person. These are not the same as combat,
Yeah.
maneuvering. You have a spear and you have an axe, and you need to get something loose from something.
Oh, I have a spear.
No, he has a spear.
Oh, he has a spear.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to work together in some way.
Yeah, I could kind of use it
So
like.
Yeah.
you jank it and I shop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's do that.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. And this is not as skilled an action as fighting, so your chance is pretty high.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. It is still an attack, technically.
Oh, 08.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we will talk about that in just a moment. In fact,
Can I-
roll damage. First of all, your spear does 1d8 plus 1, correct?
1 T10.
Oh, so that's 11 right there.
Yeah.
Now roll a d10 and add 1.
4,
Okay, so that's 15.
15.
Right, so you have done 15 points of damage. I will just check out its little arm. It's 9 points of armor. Sorry, it's 6 points of armor.
Yeah.
Have left it to take 9 points of damage
Yeah.
on that tentacle. That's not so bad.
Not so
Okay,
bad.
so-
But probably have like 20 tentacles.
Well, yes, although at the moment it's only this tentacle that is you're worried about.
True.
So, let's do combat rounds.
13.
13.
Okay. Now your axe is going to maybe not get quite as much damage out of it, but the fact that you can roll. What matters is that you are using it more like a d6 plus 1 for your axe, remember? Yes. And, okay, so 4
Four,
points.
yeah.
So you're not actually get through the rubbery skin, but you remember you're using this as a tool.
Yeah.
So the point is whether the two of you succeeding in these actions can actually make the tentacle come loose, which, with this kind of damage, it can. You did 9 points of damage, was that correct? Right? Well, since it can only take 8 points to a tentacle, that means that your axe blow is able to get it off completely.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
So he
super.
injured it horribly,
Yeah.
and you're able to use the axe to throw it off.
Good job.
Yeah, not bad. By the rules, too. This is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So, excellent. That's going to probably be... I'm going to say it takes you a little bit of time until strike rank 6 to do this. Okay, so now, for a moment, you have a chance to assess the situation.
Yeah. What do we see?
Well, first of all, from where you are and given the lights and things like that, you finally get an idea of what you are facing, which is that on one side, in fact, between the two ships, has come up this mass. And tentacles from this mass have swarmed onto the lower decks of each
Okay.
one. And so then the only one tentacle has come up on your side to grab and pull. At the moment, that does not seem to be happening at the other ship. The sight of this horrific beast, whose anatomy is like nothing you have ever seen before, and perhaps even the horror of one eye which seems to be looking right at you. Shockingly human eye of all things, right? It's just the otherworldliness of this moment is pretty astonishing. The expanse of its flesh, it looks like some kind of huge bulb of some kind, and the fact that the people in the water are completely unable to figure out. I mean, they jumped in the water to fight something, but most of them are just swamped in the mess of tentacles and are, who knows, there doesn't seem to be much effective. The people, there are people who are hacking at the tentacles and things, and there is some damage being done. But you realize that it's hard to tell how many tentacles, but there seem to be a lot. So you are realizing that you were able to take care of one, but who knows, if any one of them gets on top of any part of the length of these ships, there's going to be a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, we're going to be here for a while.
And not only that, but who knows how this thing is impossibly strong.
Yeah.
The fact that it might even be able to wrap around the lower deck, in fact, that may be what you almost think it might be doing, is going around fully around on the lower deck of the ship and then
Yeah.
snap.
Yes.
Right?
Squeezed.
Yes. So that's your assessment of the situation. And there's its big eye looking at you.
Do you have any good plans?
Nope.